In life, we wear many hats. We can be parents, employees, spouses, friends, and each hat we wear plays a different role. I don't act the same at home as I do at work. I don't treat my husband the same as I do my boss. So our roles are the hats we wear. Each role acts differently. You have different personalities. You have different needs. You have different feelings. So I'm going to use one of my favorite television shows, Seinfeld. There's a season or an episode that has independent George and relationship George. So Elaine has invited George's girlfriend out to lunch. And George doesn't want independent George, who he's friends with Elaine, to meet relationship George, his girlfriend. He's like, the worlds are going to collide. Independent George is going to die the second Elaine meets relationship George, and the second my girlfriend meets independent George, it's going to be a collision. It's going to be awful. So what George is saying is he acts different in those two different settings as a friend and as a boyfriend. It's a little extreme, and he gets a little crazy. We have problems whenever we don't manage our roles right. We get out of balance. You know, we've all heard the thing work-life balance. Well, there's more to it than that, but I'll give you a few examples. You can be a workaholic and just be so focused on your professional role that you don't pay any attention to your family. Many men fall into this category. They struggle with this. Or you can be so focused on being a great mom that you focus on your kids, but your husband gets no attention, so you're not being a very good wife. I know that for me, my professional self dominates me, and it is something I have to watch so it doesn't filter into the other areas of my life. When I first started noticing it, I realized, wow, I'm such a driver. And that's great that I am that way in my professional life. I'm goal-driven, I'm a driver, I've got a checklist of things to do. But if I go home, which is what I would do, I would have like all these things when I was on my off time. I've got to go exercise this many hours a day. I've got to clean the house. I've got to do this, and this. And then maybe I get to rest for an hour. And so how is that helping me? That's not. I don't get any rest. I'm exhausted. Plus the people around me are exhausted. So that's what I'm talking about is let's balance these roles out. Another thing that happens sometimes when your roles are unbalanced is you have inner conflict. You have competition for what you want. So let's talk about a mom that is working, a working mom. That's a common tug of war that's out there. You want to climb the ladder of success and work a lot of overtime and all that good stuff, but you've also got to be there for your kids. So that inner conflict is always there, and you've got to resolve it. That is what I had to do. I had to identify my roles. What are the main roles I play in life? So I'm going to use myself as an example, and the table that's going to come up will show you how I worked through this. My dominant roles are my professional self, my adolescent self, and my girlfriend self. We go through and we look at what feelings, fears, needs, wants, focus of attention, distorted beliefs, and traits do we have. So my adolescent is with me always because of the trauma that I've suffered and the abuse I've suffered. She's hanging around, and her feelings are anxiety and insecurity. She fears rejection. She wants to be accepted. Her focus is on acceptance. Her distorted belief is, I must do whatever it takes to be accepted. Positive traits are being loving and kind, and the negative traits are being a people pleaser and being self-critical. My professional self, the feelings that role has is being stressed. The fear is, what if I can't take care of myself, or what if I'm wrong? My focus of attention is control. The distorted belief is, I am what I do. The positive traits are, I am determined, confident, achievement-oriented, and the negative traits are, I'm judgmental, aggressive, impatient, and controlling. Lastly, the girlfriend. Her feelings are enthusiasm and passion. She just wants to have fun. The fear of that role is being humiliated and considered unimportant. The needs and wants are admiration and attention. The focus of attention is being admired. The distorted beliefs is, I must look good to be admired. And the positive characteristics are being charismatic, fun-loving, and romantic. And the negative characteristics are being manipulative and an exhibitionist. When you can identify your roles and their needs, wants, feelings, and all their good and bad traits, it really is eye-opening. Another area is what's called fragmentation. Now, this is what happens to a lot of us that have suffered abuse and trauma. It's a little more extreme, and it's where a part of you divides off and hides and sort of like put baby in the corner. And until you're triggered or you feel safe, that role doesn't come out. Whenever you notice that you're reacting in a weird way, or you notice some emotions you can't quite identify, sometimes it means that this role is coming out and that you need a therapist to help guide you to get that part reintegrated. That was usually a part that was a child or a teen part of you that was abused or treated badly, and it just had to go into hiding. I know for me, that was the part that I had because of what I suffered. The teen, adolescent part of me really had to be helped to be recognized within my system. I had certain roles that were basically doing unhealthy things to try to protect that part of me that had been hurt so badly. And by reintegrating with a counselor and going through how those different roles can get along, it really, really helped balance my system out. We have to create a balance by knowing all of our roles. We've got to have each role having equal weight, equal importance in our system. One way to do this, and it's a little out there, so just bear with me. I'm very visual, so this is what helps me do this, is pretend that your different roles are at a table. You've got your professional role, your girlfriend role, and your adolescent role, and you're sitting around a round table, and you're talking about, what do we need? What does this person need? That role need? That role need? And you're balancing out the power. Now, when you do that, for me, my dominant role, and it's the professional role. She thinks she gets her way no matter what. And that's not the way it needs to be. But you also have to recognize what each role contributes. That professional part of me brings a lot of great things to my life. I've been successful. I have, a lot of accomplishments. However, we need to stand down so we can enjoy what all those accomplishments are for. They're for so we can have an enjoyable life. They're for us being able to enjoy the downtime. And negotiating that between all your different roles is very, very important. So this little roundtable discussion in your mind, however you want to do it, sometimes visualizing it helps you balance that out. It's almost like making a plan and setting expectations. I'm going to give you an example of this. I was in a new relationship, and I had a new boyfriend. So I had different feelings, different fears, different likes, dislikes, and needs. So my adolescent part felt nervous. I was afraid he wasn't going to like me. I liked that he was a nice, kind man, and I needed the security of another person in companionship. My professional self felt suspicious. She feared that this guy's going to take too much time and get in my way, and I don't need another job. She liked the companion if he's going to help, and she needed, and her need and want is a helper that'll come alongside her. The girlfriend part of me felt excited and giddy. However, she feared not being able to be free and do what she wanted. She liked the romance, and her greatest need was to have a friend and a lover. Understanding my roles made a huge difference in my healing. The roles you play are you. Understanding each role's feelings, fears, good and bad traits, it's important to help you make well thought out decisions and to live a healthy, happy, balanced life.